Hello and welcome back to Young and Gifted. I am your host, Anaya Balkcom, and for today's episode, we are here with.
Zuri Brown, a.k.a. Introvert.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming back to speak with us. So it was about, I want to say it was like a year since the last time we did an interview, but it was a little bit, almost near a year. So, some things have changed.
Yeah, I think the last time was with 222, my
Yes.
brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hair is gone,
I
no
I
more locks.
know, right? It's a completely different change. We're like, we're going into that new season from, summer to fall, from where we were before to where we are now. So speaking of, being in the now, do you want to tell us a little bit about the event that you have coming up?
Absolutely. So this event is a Party Next Door inspired concert, which is why I named it Introvert Next Door. It's just my artist name combined with Party Next Door. And I came up with this event over the summer. It was something super random. I was just in my room and I was like, yo, Party Next Door is actually like, he's really tough. Like, he
Yeah.
has some really good vibes. And I feel like people at the school would really like that. Like, I've never seen that done so far, like, when I've been here. So,
Right.
like, I feel like that would be something to, that would be a good thing to give to the school. So, I mean, like, why not? And then the community aspect of it also came out of nowhere. Like, all my ideas are like, hey, hey, okay, cool. So I was just like, instead of just people just coming in, I feel like there should be something else to that. So why not have people come in, and as they come in, bring something with you, bring some school supplies, some hygiene products, or something that we can give back to the community. Because I feel like every time I go downtown Dover, I see like 5 to 10 minimum homeless people, and it's
Definitely.
like, yo, we could be doing something about this instead of
Right.
just driving past them every day.
Right.
So I feel like something as simple as this could help somebody out a lot. And I had somebody ask me a question yesterday. They were like, well, what are you a part of? Like, what organization are you a part of? And I was like, I'm not a part of anything. I'm just doing it because I want to.
Right.
And I feel like that's the mindset that we need to get into. You don't have to be a part of anything to give back. You can just give back because you want to.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think too, sometimes we get caught up in like kind of like the bystander effect because we think that somebody else will do. We think that somebody else will, stop to like help that person on the side of the road, and we're just gonna drive past them every day. But I think that it's great that you were like, no, I'm gonna take it like I'm gonna take it on myself to help our community, and you're not like trying to wait for anything or like a special time. Like you're saying, like the time is now. This is what you want to do.
Absolutely.
So, what did the process look like just getting this together? All of it from the community aspect to just putting together the set list, everything.
So, I'll say since the summer, my approved advisor was Dr. Tali, is Dr.
Okay.
Tali, and he's been getting me through everything. So the first step that I took was thinking. I had to like think out everything myself first and then map out at things before I actually present them. So I just kind of, you know, gathered my thoughts together and decided if this is something I actually wanted to do. And then I took it to Tali. I just told him everything. Yo, Tali, um, there's this artist named Party Next Door. You probably don't know who he is, but it's cool. But he's signed by Drake, and I feel like the students would love if I did like an hour set of his. And he
Right.
was like, all right, cool. So I was like, all right, cool. And then he got me approved for a lot of things, and from there it was just through the roof.
Wow, that's amazing. And like, how did you even with the part of like the certain songs that you picked? Because as we all know, Party Next Door has an amazing list. Like his list of like music that he has out, his albums, like his songs. It just
Especially the new album.
yes,
Yeah.
all of it. It's just fire. So how were you able to pick which songs you wanted to use?
So it was very hard picking the songs because, of course, the new album just came out.
Right.
So what I did was, and I'm a musician, so this is something I would naturally do. So I looked at his Rolling Loud set, like his live set,
Okay.
and I just studied it like for like maybe a week and a half before I even did anything else. I just listened to that straight, and I put like each song together through the set, through
Right.
the Rolling Loud set. That wasn't like me originally. Some
Right.
songs I did add in there,
Right.
but most of the songs that are on the set list are from his Rolling Loud concert.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. So now I know that as we were saying earlier, like it was a lot to put this together. So did like what were the obstacles that you like faced going into this? If you want to touch a little bit about that.
So one thing that I've learned a lot with dealing with events and multiple people is you're gonna have to get everybody on one accord. Like getting people on one accord is just one of the hardest things ever because everybody has a different schedule. Everybody lives in different places, so it's hard to gather people at a certain time on a certain day. And another thing that musicians are always going to run into with these kind of events is audio issues. Like there are so many things that just needs to be there. Like
Right.
drummer needs something, keyboard needs something, bass needs something. There's a computer that needs to run for the whole thing to even happen.
Right.
So there's multiple like aspects that just makes things really difficult if you don't have a team. And that's what really put me on a different path with trying to do it myself.
Right.
Things just got out of control to the point where I couldn't do it alone.
Right.
So my closest friends and the people in my circle really are helping me out right now with this whole event, and that's really, really like I can't express how much I thank them for that.
That's amazing. I love that. You know, they always say that it takes a village. You know, normally they say that in the terms of like raising a child, but I think it takes a village regardless of what you're doing. If you have a goal, you know, it never hurts to have those people that are, you know, backing you 100% to just help you out with that.
Absolutely, I feel like one thing that I was told a lot growing up is you're going to be like not be like but the people that you hang out with, the crowd that you're most likely around, that's who you're going to become. That's the energy
Right.
that you're going to put out.
Right.
So if you hang out with millionaires or people who are in the studio all the time, that'll be your regiment, that'll be your
Right.
daily routine.
Right.
But if you have the opposite, then so forth, so on.
Yeah, I completely agree. I always tell my friends, I say birds of a feather flock together. The
There you
reason
go.
why we, you know, get along is because we have the same type of mindset. So I agree completely. So now I know that you were saying that it helped you to realize that you needed a team to help you with this. So were there any other takeaways from putting together this event that you will apply in like the future when you go into different things?
Absolutely. I'll say time management. Time management has always been a thing that I've low key struggled with because my head is always all over the place. Like I'm always trying to do multiple things at once. So I feel like time management is something that I've taken away from this a lot. Like I need to plan out what I'm going to do and execute it. So yeah, I need to be really specific with my time management from now on.
Yeah, I agree. You know, especially with it being midterm season that's coming up, like, you know, time management, that's definitely something that you need. I tried
Absolutely.
to run away from it a couple of times.
Nah.
Did not work out.
It'll come right back.
Yeah, literally. So now, since we spoke about, like, I guess the more like learning and building aspect of this process, now let's go back into like the music aspect. So, do you feel that, like, you know, working with music as long as you did, has really helped you grow as a person? And if so, how?
So I feel like music is one of the things that shaped me as a person, energy wise, spiritual wise, just mentally. I feel like music is something that teaches you a lot, and it
Right.
teaches you things that sometimes you don't even care about knowing. But I feel like you have to put your ego and your pride aside to really, and this is with anything, but music especially, if it's something that you don't know, you have to put your pride and your ego aside to actually understand what's going on. And I feel like that's a really great life lesson because you can't go through life thinking that you know everything. It's
Right.
just not going to be good for you. So,
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I think with most things, you just have to put your pride aside because that will stop you from like your biggest blessings. Just knowing that I have to, you know, I have to move forward in this, not letting my ego hold me back.
absolutely.
So I completely agree. So now, what are your plans for like your music in the future?
Um, I don't really know yet. I know after school, I want to be a touring musician, honestly. And when I say touring, like not just your regular touring musician that just goes from state to state or, I really want to go state to state, obviously, but I want to have a message in everything I'm doing. Like I want people to, I'm not just going to have like concerts. I'm also going to have like therapy sessions, like art galleries and stuff like that. Like I'm not just a musical person. And that's something that I had to tell myself. Like you can't just sing. Like you can't just play piano. You can also, choreograph something. You could also be a photographer or videographer. Like there are multiple things that you could do with your craft. So it doesn't just have to be music. So I feel like that's a step that I really want to take. Like, all right, I'm gonna step outside of music now. Yeah.
And now, since you're speaking of stepping outside of music, I don't know if you remember, but from our first interview that we did together with 222, and I asked if any of you would be like interested. I believe I said like in
Teaching.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So, how are you feeling about that now?
All right. So I'm spinning the block on that question because I am currently in a leadership position in drumline and DSU Approach and Storm. So that alone, like since August up until now, like my baseline, I've been getting them through reading music fundamentally and things like that. So I feel like I'm not as negatively based towards that teacher position anymore because I feel like I've made it fun for myself.
Right.
I made it fun for myself, and the people that I'm teaching also made it fun for me. So I feel like that's not a road that I don't think I wouldn't go down now. You know, I wouldn't mind going down there.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, I'm glad to hear that you have changed your perspective because even when I was sitting in front of you all last year or about a couple of months ago, I was like, they definitely have, you know, what it takes to be a teacher, especially with the vast amount that you guys know about music. So now to hear that you changed your mind, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So now, since, you know, speaking about music, as you know, like music has changed a lot over the years. And I just want to know, are there any like music trends that you predict will happen, say like in 5 years, or are there any music trends that you are into currently right now?
I'm not gonna lie, my name is Introvert for a reason. I'm not really in tune with anything that's going on. Like TikTok, haven't been on it.
Really?
No.
Oh my gosh.
My girlfriend, she brings up a TikTok like almost every day, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, I'm sorry.
And you don't be compelled to like, okay, well now I have to see you keep bringing up these TikToks. I don't, nothing? That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just be too busy. Like, by the time I'm done, it's like 12, it's midnight by the time I'm like unwinding.
Okay, all right.
So.
That's fair, yeah. If I was unwinding that late, then I really wouldn't want to watch nobody's TikTok either. Okay, all right, that's fair. But so now, going back to your, like, the what's it called? Why am I blanking right now? The event that you're having on Friday. What is one word that you would use to, like, describe what that event will, you know, what's going to be going on?
One word to describe what's going to be happening?
Yeah.
Vibes.
Vibes? That's it?
Because that's all his music is really vibey.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Lay in your bedroom, chill. Yeah. Vibes.
And like, so I know that you said about like how you were just listening to his music and you were like, I think that this would be great to, you know, put on for the students here. Was there any like follow-up musician that you were also considering as well, or it was just him like right off the bat?
I'm trying to see if I should say this or not. Because I am planning more concerts for the future, but I guess I will say 2 artists that we're thinking about is Summer Walker.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 3 artists: Summer Walker, Bryson Tiller, and Chris Brown.
Okay. That is, I think in either, regardless of who you pick from those 3 artists, I feel like it still would have gave vibes because they all still kind of had that same, like, you know, chill, relaxed energy. So I think regardless of who you would have picked, it would have been, you know, solid.
Absolutely. And I did that on purpose because I feel like most of the music events that we have is like trap, like like Lil Uzi, like everybody ready to turn up, like, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, all right, bro, I want to hear some chords, I want to hear a piano or something, like, you know. So I just wanted to bring some vibes.
I agree. That makes sense. So now, if you could host your dream music festival, like you could have any lineup, you have an unlimited budget, you got all the money in the world, any lineup, you could do it at any venue. You could do it around the world. You could do whatever you want. You could make this a tour. You could have anything that you want going on there. What would you do? What would it be?
Okay. All right. So, So this has to be like an event?
I mean, it could really, it could be anything you want.
All right, cool. So I feel like it would definitely be a concert. Or matter of fact, we're going to make it a festival. It's going to be a week festival. I like to go all out. It's going to be a week festival. Every day it'll be different artists. You know what? It's going to be in a theme park. Yeah, we're gonna have it
Really?
in the theme park. I'm
Okay.
crazy. I just be thinking of random stuff. It's gonna be in the theme park. It's gonna be after hours.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll get back to you when I have more details. So far, it's just gonna be in the theme park after hours.
That's good. I think if I did one, it would have to be like I wouldn't want it to just be like in an open area because I want to make sure that like my people have somewhere to sit and stuff like that. So maybe like theme park vibes. I think it's cool that like when you go to the amusement park and they blast music and you're on like the roller coaster. I always think that's fun. So if I did something like that, I would do it after hours, but maybe you could have like one roller coaster on. I would make sure that they have good food because I think that like sometimes when I go to festivals, like everything else can be amazing, but then the food is like okay, like that could have been a little, that could have been better. So I think that's definitely something that I would work on too with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like intimate settings would be cool too, like a classroom or something.
Yeah.
Or,
like a tiny desk concert type vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, also, I should probably mention there will be a Tiny Desk concert in the art gallery December 5th, and I'll be on that too.
December 5th.
December
Okay,
5th.
I love that. Okay, make sure that you are paying attention, y'all. December 5th, there will be a Tiny Desk concert in the art gallery located in the library, right? Yeah, perfect. I love Tiny Desk concerts so bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So now, lastly, before we wrap it up, what are some takeaways you would like listeners to get from this interview?
So when you listen to my voice, I want you to understand that I didn't always think the way that I do now. I wasn't always confident the way that I am now. I wasn't always just putting my foot out there and just making a decision right then and there. That wasn't always me. Like maybe 3 years ago, I was like, I'll come back to you maybe a month from now.
Right.
Or I wouldn't really say much. Like introvert was really introvert. Like, I wouldn't say much. I wouldn't go out the house. My friends would be like my really close friends, my brothers and sisters. Like, there came to a point in time where I had to really just open up. Like, I had to decide if I wanted to stay quiet for my whole life or if I wanted to make the moves that I'd be dreaming about. So when you hear my voice, just know that I wasn't always like this. And if you're in the same position, then you can also get yourself out that hole. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak with us, to give us more information about your event. So please make sure that you pop out to his event this Friday, Introvert Next Door. It is going to be something you don't want to miss. And also make sure that you bring donations as well to help out with giving back to our community because, it never hurts to give back, especially to the community that pours out into you.
Absolutely. A donation of any kind. It could be canned goods, clothing, feminine hygiene products, school supplies. And you also need to bring your student ID. You need to have a student ID to get in or else you won't be able to get in.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And also, can you give us your Instagram so people know where to go for more updates?
Absolutely. KVING_Z. And in my bio, you'll find all my other pages and everything included.
All right. Perfect. Well, this is Anaya Balkcom and
Zuri Brown, a.k.a. Introvert.
signing out from DESU Radio, Young and Gifted. Bye.